Hello everyone, welcome. It's Connie-Rae and I have another tutorial for you to do today. It's this beautiful regal, I think it's regal anyway, regal card using some window sheet and some black cardstock, and it's very easy to do and I like it because it's fairly clean and simple and it looks stunning. It looks better in real life too. So this is the tutorial I have today, so I hope you enjoy this tutorial and you give this a try. I will go through with you right now what we need to do. How's that? Okay, so I've already done a little bit of preparation because it is a bit fiddly and I didn't want to hold everybody up because I've got to keep this video small as possible. Well, short as possible, I should say. Sorry, that's my phone going off. We'll just ignore that. What I am looking for is a little piece of, yep, there it is, found it. Okay, because I've already pre-cut everything so that you can just go ahead and cut it with the instructions. Okay, so we've got a black piece of cardstock, and that cardstock is cut into, oh, my cat's on the chair and I just knocked her in the face, poor baby. Okay, it is 4 inches in width, scored at 5.5. And I'm liking this new 4 inches in width. It's kind of comfortable using it. It's not as big as the normal card, but I do like the width. It's not as big. I like it because it just looks a little bit more elegant. That's just my thoughts anyway. So that's what the dimensions of the card are. I have already gone ahead, stamped and embossed using my Versamark ink pad. So you will need one of those. Just zoom out a bit, I'm a bit close. My little bit of technical inexperience showing there. And I've also used this Hostess Express Yourself set. You can use any sentiment you want. It's entirely up to you. Always thinking of you is what I've used in this particular sentiment, which is really lovely. So, of course, you can apply anything. Happy anniversary. You don't even have to use this set. Any sentiment you want will work. Okay, now you will need a few things in your arsenal, as they say. You're going to need this to cut the large. What have I done with my original? Oh, there it is. Okay, you need that to cut the large underneath window sheet. This is 3 inches. Yeah, this is 3 inches by 3 inches in diameter, this circle, and it will give you a 2.5 inch, yeah, 2.5 inch punch. So if you've got a 2.5 inch punch, you can use that as well. So it will, oh, my cat wants to do something. No, it actually gives you 2 3/4. Yeah, so it gives you a 2 3/4 circle punched out of your window sheets. So you can punch it, or you can use this and you can put it through your Big Shot, whichever works for you. I put it through the Big Shot because it is a little bit, quite a big one, and it is a bit tough. So, well, it's not tough. It seems when you put some things through the punches, they tend to get a little bit, you know, gritty. You think, ooh, it's not going to make it, but it does. So anyway, you can cut that circle any way you wish. I would use Big Shot first choice. If you haven't got the Big Shot, use a punch, basically. That simple. Okay, so this is the basic foundation. As I said, it's a fairly simple card. I like to keep my cards clean and simple, as they say, because it just looks nice. So I don't like them to look too busy, but in saying that, I want them to be pretty and regal and smart and all that stuff. So I don't know if we can have such a good combo sometimes. Anyway, this is the circle. So I'm just going to put, in this instance, a little bit of tape at the back just to stick it on. And I don't want that tape to show. So I don't want it to show through. So let me just turn this around because I sort of, looking at my other card. This window sheet is actually beautiful. I love it under the black. I've tried it with other colours, but it's just white. It looks nice, but I just love it under the black. It just looks so regal, especially this design, these little Persian design windows. They're so cute. Yeah, anyway, the other thing I wanted to point out to you is something that I didn't know myself until I started trimming away. This is a window sheet that I have used previously. Now, when you get these window sheets, there's silver on the back and there's gold on the front, okay? But there is also a very fine protective sheet on these, and that is obviously to protect the print during transit and all that sort of stuff, so it doesn't rub off and it's not scratched when you get it, which is lovely. And it's so typical Stampin' Up, always so thoughtful in the way that they prepare everything, and considerate. So basically, I didn't know it was there, and I tried punching it and it didn't work. And I'm thinking, what is wrong with this window sheet? It was the operator, as they say. So basically, just be prepared. If you can cut it without removing the window, that little protective layer, that's probably a good thing, right until the end where you're ready to put it onto your card, because you don't want to scratch it by punching it out and moving it around. So if you want to leave that on, that's a good idea, but just be aware it is there. It may not even look like it's there, but there is a very thin layer, and you just need your little, what do you call them? Your little thingy here, and you just can pick it on the corner and you'll peel it off. So it's something I didn't know. I found out the hard way, as they say. All right, so we've got the basic circle done. We've got your embossing done with your Versamark white embossing powder. And if I had more time, I probably would show you, but I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. But you do know, if you don't know how to emboss, I'm sure that there's other embossing techniques that I've actually put on some of my tutorials. So it's pretty straightforward. Just put your Versamark, your embossing powder, and you use a heat gun, and away you go. Don't forget to use your embossing buddy to remove any oils, grit, or stop anything sticking there, especially if you're using white on black, because it will grab and it will look awful if you don't prepare your surface well. Okay. Suddenly sound like a school teacher. Okay, not that there's anything wrong with school teachers. I'm just not a school teacher, but I'm sounding like one. Okay. You will need this punch, which is 2 3/8, which is the scallop circle. You can use any size you want as long as it's got the scallop in it, because the scallop is the part that we're going to amend and change. And you need the 1 3/4 scallop punch. Again, my little panda wants to get out. Yes, again, we're going to use that size, and we're going to punch out a piece of black cardstock in 1 3/4 and a piece of window sheet at 1 3/4. Again, 2 3/8, we're going to use a piece of black cardstock, and we're going to use a piece of window sheet at 2 3/8. Then we are going to use this little flower. I'm fully aware that some people may not have these punches. So with the framelit dies that they've got available now, you can cut these same size circles. And if you can't, you can improvise with anything that you get from Stampin' Up. But basically, you just need the scallop shape so that we can amend that little thing and turn it into a flower. Okay, and I've got the little one, which is the top one, and I've punched out the window sheet and the black cardstock in that as well. Okay, so that being said, I've layered that down. We've got, what I've done is I've turned this into a flower. So we've got our scallop, and initially it was a scallop, and we've cut every second hole, sorry, every second indentation, making a little heart. See how those hearts are? So we go around every, whoop, let me just get that into focus. So every, whoop, that is not in focus, that is. Okay, so every second one, we're just snipping into the middle, turning it and snipping it into the middle, turning and snipping it into the middle, all the way around until you get these little love hearts sort of looking things out of your scallop circle. So we want to do that, right? Then we want to break up the fibers a bit so that we can move them around. So we're just going to go in and we're just going to, you can use a pencil, you can use your hand, you can just pinch these little things together and just change the fibers of the paper so that they will bend and make a little flower. Okay, you can use your fingers if that's going to work for you, whatever works for you. So do have a play, because that's the whole concept of it, isn't it? And then I've done the same with the window sheet. I've gone around, and every second one I've made a little love heart and cut into the middle. And I've also gone and pinched, turned it over, because I'm not using the silver side, I'm actually using the gold side. So I've turned it over and I've just pinched it in the middle like that, which I'm pretty sure you can or can't see, but you're going to get the, no, you're not going to be able to see that very clearly, but you're going to get the concept. So down the bottom of the heart shape, just pinch it together to make it bend. And believe it or not, it's actually quite good. It doesn't actually mark, it just bends quite nicely. And it turns into this lovely little flower, well, this lovely little shape that you're going to make a flower with. And it doesn't leave any marks in it, so it's gorgeous the way it comes up. So I do hope you like this idea anyway. So yeah, that's basically how you're going to do your flowers. You're going to do your big flower and your little flower exactly the same. It's just that there's more scallops. So I'll do this with you all watching now. I think I need those big, gigantic glasses so I can see what I'm doing. So we're going to go in, let me see if I can get this for you, and hopefully you'll see. Snip into the middle. Don't snip right in because you'll cut your little heart out. And just go all the way around, snipping in, snipping in, snipping in. It's a really great way to make a flower. And there's lots of tutorials on how to make flowers too. So if you're a flower person and you love flowers, you'll enjoy this. Okay, so again, we're just getting our little tool that we're going to use, whether that's a hand or a piercing tool, whatever works for you really. And we're just going to turn up these little hearts into petals. And it's just a matter of playing with it until you're happy with the shape. And it obviously lifts and gives you some dimension, which is what you're after. There's nothing like a bit of 3D dimension happening on your crafting card. All right, so I've done that. And as you can see, if you just push that together like a little flower, it works really well. It's really cute. Like I said, there's plenty of ways that you can do this, and there's plenty of other options on the internet, how to make flowers, Pinterest, all of those things. Just muck around with the fibers until you're happy with the shape. And basically, you're going to be building up your flower so that it actually stands up, and that's all we're going to do today. So again, I'm going to do this, go around. I've already punched these, as you know, and I'm just going to cut in the little heart, making every second one into a little heart. Really liking this window sheet. It's actually quite user-friendly, considering you can put it through the punches and you can bend it and it doesn't leave, you know how sometimes when you punch things or you bend plastics, it sort of like leaves a bit of a white streak straight up the middle of whatever it is you bent. This doesn't do that, so that's kind of good. So I've just gone around the back of these hearts, as you can see, and I've actually just bent them into shape, making them sort of more standy upperish, for want of a better word. There we go. If you need to, you can always go in and just go around the front and do the same, and that would really alter it. But basically, when you put it all together, it looks good. I think it does anyway. And it's a nice card because you can give it, it's very regal. So it's a good birthday card. It's a good mail card too, because it's kind of regal with a bit of a flowerish kind of look, but it's not feminine. So, you know, I don't know. I guess it's just the way that we see things, really. I might see it one way, you might see it another, which is all good. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to put our little flower together. So we're obviously going to be starting onto this one. And first of all, we're going to get our large scallop and we're going to get our large flower that we just made. Like I said, I probably would like to bend that a bit more, but I don't want to do it the whole job too much. So I think on this one, I've actually taken my time and really, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, see how it's all bent up and popped up on dimensionals, but it's certainly quite, you know, bent into shape to give you that beautiful flower look. Look at that. So pretty. Okay, let me see. I need some dimensionals. Here we go. Don't worry about using dimensionals underneath because you won't see the dimensionals once you've put the flower together. So don't panic. We are going to use dimensionals though, and I'm going to cut mine in half. So I'm just going to go along and snip these little babies in half because I don't want big dimensionals on there. I don't want them to show. So I'm just going to put that into the center or the other way around. It depends which way you prefer to compile your little item. Okay, let's have a look here. So that's the first layer, quite solidly placed. Then we've got, as you can see, this one, the next one covers up the dimensional. So again, we're just going to put half down, going in the opposite direction, so it keeps a bit of balance in the design. And bear with me just for a second. Okay, there we go. Just having trouble seeing. Okay, and then the last one, we're just going to do the same again, another dimensional. It won't come off, the backing won't come off. And again, putting our little window sheet on top of the black, creating a bit of a flowery effect. Getting that alignment right is really important because you want it to still be able to pop. Okay, and then the last one, I think I used a glue dot, and I would recommend you using a glue dot now for the last piece, which is on the bottom of this little one. And we're just going to pop that there like a little, tiny little petal. And again, a glue dot on the next window sheet on the silver side, because I'm using the gold side as my display. You can use silver, of course. I liked the gold and the black for some reason. Okay, and again, you're not going to see that glue dot because we're going to put a rhinestone in the middle. Oh, if we can get hold of it. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to put that into the middle. You probably can't see that. Yeah, it's pretty hard to see. Sorry guys, but you're going to get the gist of it all. So basically, that is it. So you just pop it down. Make sure it's, I don't know if that's actually big enough. I think I'll just pop that off. Is that the same size? Oh no, they are the same size. Yeah, I've used the biggest one available. I would go, if you can get a bigger one, I would probably use a bigger one. Depends how blingy you want it. And basically that rhinestone is just covering up your glue dot underneath as well. So you've got this gorgeous flower happening and you can't see anything, but it has got lots of dimension and interest in it. So putting all these together is certainly worth it. And the way that it plays with the light, it's actually such a pretty card. Really liking it. Okay, and again, underneath, another dimensional. You won't see this, so I think I've put a couple on my other one next to each other just to pop it up a bit. Actually, I think I put I might have actually put 3 on the back of the other one. I can't remember, but of course, you know, you can put as many as you like. Depends, you don't want to overdo it though, because you don't want to look down the side of the card and see too much of the actual mechanics of it, because then that just defeats all your hard work of making a beautiful, clean and simple card, doesn't it? Okay, so that's it. So we're just going to center that. I'm just going to turn it around so I can see it clearly. Just going to center that right in the middle and push down. There we go. Doesn't matter if you flatten it a bit, just to make sure it's secure, because then you can get it and you can alter it any way you like, pressing it all up together making it look brilliant. There we go. That's the tutorial. For it looks a little bit like leopard skin, doesn't it, in some lights? I'm not sure if I like that idea, but anyway, that is the window sheet flower always thinking of you tutorial. It's pretty easy. Take your time with it, have a play, work out the color combinations that you want, and don't be afraid to put your window sheet through your big shot, which would be, maybe it would be my first preference. Certainly if it's a little flower like the top one that we've got there, well, you can't even see it now. It looks a bit army-ish, doesn't it? It looks like it's like it got the army camouflage, you know. Camouflage. But anyway, yeah, I would use the big shot first and then use your punches. But the window sheet can be a bit testy on your punches and you don't want to ruin them. So if you can, the first preference would be using your big shot. But either way, and the smaller they get, the easier they are. So this little one on the top, that's what I was saying before, it actually goes through the little punch quite quickly. But the bigger they are, the more testy they are. So you don't want to break anything. So that's it. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and hello. And you can support me and my channel by going up to the top there and oh no, that's not subscribing. That's where you go to buy any of the items that have been used in today's tutorial. You just click on the stampityourself.com. It'll take you straight into my 24-hour, 7-day-a-week shop. Shop online, purchase the supplies that I've used today, and check out. It's really that simple. And you can subscribe and share this project with everybody. So thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to join you very soon with a new tutorial coming away. I've actually got one in the, well, actually I've already made it, so you may actually get an upload tomorrow. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great weekend, because it is Saturday night in Sydney, Australia. So thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I don't like it on that angle. It doesn't look pretty. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and you give it a go. Thank you very much. Take care.